Welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I am Lupagus, Minnesota Vikings. We're victorious. Second preseason win in a row, 27-12 over the Cleveland Browns. While the Vikings themselves were winners, they were players who were not so winnerific during this game. We're going to talk about four of them. This is usually top five, but I couldn't find five. I just went with four. I went with four today. We're going to talk to those losers. Before we do, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like, and comment as well. Let's just jump right into it. And probably the bottom of the list, and maybe this is just getting nitpicky, but N'Keal Harry, I know he had one drop, but I thought he had another one. It wasn't officially ruled a drop, but he probably could have hauled it in. So N'Keal Harry, a guy at the bottom of the tight end depth chart, not ascending with that kind of a performance. So we'll see what the Vikings end up doing with him. He ain't making his final 53. Will he make the practice squad? That is the question to ask, and we'll see what happens there. But N'Keal Harry had a chance to make some plays. It didn't happen for him against the Browns. He'll have one more chance against the Eagles next Saturday to impress the coaching staff. But right now, not looking good. Let's go to Jaquelin Roy. Was he even out there? Like I remember seeing 93 out there, but he had no stats. And you got to start wondering, will this guy making the team? I mean, look at what the rest of these defensive tackles did. These young guys, like Levi Drake Rodriguez, had 2 tackles. He graded out very, very high on PFF. James Lynch had 3 tackles. Tyler Manoa had 2 tackles. Taki Taimani had 5 tackles. So these other guys at the same position are out there producing, and you get the, Jaquelin Roy not doing a damn thing. So, again, I love me Jaquelin Roy, big fan of him coming out of LSU, but didn't do much as a rookie and isn't doing much to impress this preseason either. So, again, a guy who kind of needed to have a good game, didn't do it. We'll see what he does next week. But Jaquelin Roy stepping on his dick in this one. Let's go over to Akayleb Evans, the cornerback, who really just looked like ass. He did. He couldn't cover anybody. He couldn't tackle. He was kind of spinning around like he was lost. It was just not a good look for our boy, Akayleb Evans. And he's going to make this team. There's no doubt about it. He will make the team. Where will he end up on the final depth chart, to me, is the question. I mean, is he going to be cornerback 4? Will he be cornerback 5? I sure as hell hope it isn't any higher than that. Because really, if we have to rely on this guy, all right, we're screwed. We're absolutely screwed. So what happened this morning, early, Stephon Gilmore gets signed. That will bump Akayleb Evans down the depth chart where he belongs. Again, I don't see the Vikings moving on from him, but it's hard to get excited about his performance. And if we ever do have to play him, if he's out there, because it looks like a huge liability at this point, and he's trending toward bust. So we'll see where this goes with him. But I think Akayleb Evans makes the team, asked into the depth chart. This will probably be his final year unless he really shows some improvement, because right now it is just not happening for the guy Kwesi watched in that dark room all by himself and had to have. And the last one, and probably the biggest turd of the day, was our right guard, Ed Ingram. Supposed to be a starter, but he's out there starting the second preseason game when everybody else is resting. Dalton Reisner's competition did not even suit up in this one. And you got Ed Ingram. His performance, 19 snaps. He had an overall PFF grade of 39.2. Pass blocking was 23.3, and run blocking was 45.8. Last week against the Raiders, his pass blocking was 17.1. Run blocking was 65.8. So Ed Ingram, not good. Not good at all. There was questions about, maybe we could trade Dalton Reisner this preseason and then get something for him. Maybe Ed Ingram's the guy who's going to get traded. Because he looks like ass, and if he's out there playing with the twos, like having to show the coaches to make him prove himself, not a good look for Ed Ingram, especially as becoming the starter for this team. I just don't see it. This is probably going to be Dalton Reisner's job now, right guard, and then you got Blake Brendel on the left side, and Ed Ingram, if he doesn't get flat out cut, I mean, I don't think there's much. I mean, let's see, go with a Bird or Tyrese Robinson, Michael Jurgens. I don't know. I don't know if they can cut him, but man, he sure as hell may have just lost his starting job this preseason. So Ed Ingram, this was a guy KLC called out earlier in the spring about needing to see something from him. And I don't think he is showing them what they wanted to see. So those are my 5, actually 4 losers in the Vikings win over the Browns. Again, 2-0 this preseason. Love it. You love to see it, just to get some positive vibes going around this team. A lot of players balled out yesterday, and it's always a good sign when you have trouble finding 5 and you can't even find 5. So I'm sure there was others. If you have other losers, drop them in the comments. And again, it's a preseason game. No one's really a loser, but we got to talk about the ones who didn't play well. So again, if you have more, let me know in the comments. If you agree or disagree with any of my choices, let me know as well. And always, always don't be a loser and keep your skull